The retirement of so great a figure in the contemporary scene as Sir Winston Churchill constitutes a moment in history. Strong rumours of his retirement had been current for some time, and the very special dinner party at number 10 Downing Street seemed to add confirmation. Sir Anthony Eden was there. Then, wearing court dress with the garter, Sir Winston came out with Lady Churchill to welcome the guests of honour, Her Majesty the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. This indeed was an historic occasion, an historic picture too. Next day, Sir Winston did in fact drive to Buckingham Palace to offer his resignation as Prime Minister and First Lord of the Treasury. At the audience, Her Majesty was graciously pleased to accept. No man in our lifetime has better earned the right to withdraw from the scene of action. As he steps from the stage, the curtain falls on a political era. It was early in his life that politics claimed him. As Home Secretary in 1911, he appeared in person, he would, of course, at the so-called Battle of Sydney Street. This astonishing affray was indeed a battle in which police and troops had to be marshalled against desperate criminals. This film is rather like a drama of the early movies, but it was all grim enough, in fact. It was, however, just an incident in Churchill's political career. And what a career. In the course of it, he has been President of the Board of Trade, First Lord of the Admiralty, Minister of Munitions and Secretary of State for War, for Air, and for the Colonies, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Prime Minister and Minister of Defence. In World War I, as First Lord, he mobilized the fleet and played a Churchillian part in that first fearful struggle against Germany. This painting shows him and Lloyd George with their colleagues in Premier Asquith's War Cabinet. For a period between the two world wars, while not in the government, he wrote warnings of the coming storm. And when the storm broke, it was not long before this man of vast experience and sterling courage was called upon to lead his embattled country. Throughout the long and terrible years of conflict, Britain's great war premier was tireless. Indeed, he worked unceasingly to carry out his declared policy of victory whatever the cost.
We cannot yet see how deliverance will come, or when it will come, but nothing is more certain than that every trace of Hitler's footsteps, every stain of his infected and corroding fingers will be sponged and purged, and if need be, blasted from the surface of the earth.
The burdens of war leadership were immense. Not the least important of his duties were his journeys and conferences with Allied leaders. His cooperation with the late President Roosevelt was vital to victory. His meetings with Stalin followed his own axiom that anyone who fought against Hitler was a friend. When victory at last drew near, Winston Churchill, of course, went to the continent to see for himself. Here he is crossing the Rhine, and what a great moment it must have been for him. Victory, however, was followed quickly by political defeat. Throughout his unique career, his wife had shared his triumphs and his disappointments, and so it was once more. Now Churchill took up his pen again, and from it flowed volume after volume of his war memoirs, a tremendous record of those fateful years. He took up his brush, and painting as a pastime, he added to the large collection of his work as an artist. For most men, painting is a total occupation. For Churchill, it is relaxation, and in addition, something that his character demands, adventure. Presently, the country had the opportunity to choose again, and this time Churchill and his party were reinstated, after vigorous campaigning by the veteran campaigner. But peace had become a Cold War, and more journeys to conferences were undertaken by the Premier. In Jamaica, for example, he engaged in talks of vital importance with President Eisenhower. The threat to peace and freedom was insistent. For his great services to his country, he had been made a Knight of the Garter. This was indeed an honor, crowning a lifetime of service. And Sir Winston Churchill was still at the helm. Then, to mark his 80th birthday, ceremonies were held in Westminster Hall, that silent witness of nearly 1,000 years of history. Two presentations were made to Sir Winston. The first, which was offered by Mr. Attlee, was a joint gift from Lords and Commons, a portrait painted by Graham Sutherland.
But may I hope that you will live to see the beginnings of an era of peace in the world after the storms which has been your lot to encounter. Old age hath yet his honour and his toil. Some work of noble note may yet be done. On behalf of both Houses of Parliament, Prime Minister, I ask you to accept this portrait.
The second, presented by Mr. David Grenfell, Father of the House, was from the House of Commons, a commemorative book. This was an all-party tribute, of course, and it was signed by all but a very few members. In the course of his speech, Sir Winston certainly amused the gathering by his references to the portrait.
To me, the most memorable public occasion of my life. The portrait is a remarkable example of modern art. It certainly combines force and candor. I am now nearing the end of my journey. I hope I still have some services to render. However that may be, and whatever may befall, I am sure I shall never forget the emotions of this day, or be able fully to express my gratitude to those colleagues and companions with whom I have lived my life for this wonderful honor they have done me.
These 80th birthday ceremonies were unique and most moving. No parliamentarian had ever received such an honor from political friends and foes alike. Now the greatest of our contemporaries retires. To him and to his wife, the wish comes from far and wide. May many years of happiness lie ahead.
We'd love you to subscribe to the British Movietone channel for regular updates.